Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Breakthrough English Learning Podcast, where we're all about helping you unlock the secrets to speaking English fluently and confidently. And today, I'm super excited about our topic. A big hello to all our listeners out there. Whether you're just starting out or looking to polish up your English, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving into something that can truly transform the way you speak English, thinking in English. Yes, you heard that right. If you've ever found yourself translating in your head before speaking, this episode is especially for you. Oh, absolutely. Thinking in English is a total game changer because it helps you speak more naturally and fluently. In this episode, we'll chat about why it's so important, the challenges you might face, and share some simple yet effective tips to start thinking in English right away. Plus, we've got a fun little activity planned for later in the episode to help you practice. So grab your notebook, settle in, and let's dive right in. Let's start with the big question. Why does thinking in English matter so much when it comes to improving your speaking skills? Thinking in English is like building a bridge between your thoughts and your words. When you think in your native language and then translate, it really slows you down, and sometimes the true meaning gets a little lost in translation. But when you think directly in English, your responses are quicker, more natural, and you sound so much more confident. Exactly. It's also worth mentioning that thinking in English helps you develop a stronger vocabulary and better sentence structures because you're training your brain to process the language directly. It's almost like immersing yourself in an English-speaking environment, even if you're not physically there. That's a great point. And it's not just about fluency, it's also about accuracy. When you think in English, you're practicing forming sentences correctly in your mind before you even speak. Over time, this makes your speech more grammatically accurate, sometimes without you even noticing it.
Right. And I think another huge benefit is that thinking in English builds confidence. For example, imagine you're at a restaurant and need to order in English. If you're translating in your head, you might hesitate or stumble. But if you've trained yourself to think in English, it feels so much easier and more natural.
Exactly. And another benefit is that it reduces mental fatigue. Translation takes a lot of effort, and it can make speaking feel exhausting. But when you think in English, you're cutting out that extra step, which makes communication smoother and less tiring. That's so true. And here's something interesting. When you start thinking in English, you'll notice that it spills over into your everyday life. You'll begin to notice English words, phrases, and expressions more naturally, whether it's in movies, songs, or conversations. It's like your brain gets into what I like to call English mode, and everything becomes a learning opportunity. And the best part is, you don't need to be perfect to start. Even if your sentences are simple or have a few mistakes, the key is to simply begin practicing. Thinking in English is a skill that grows with time and effort. Don't worry if it feels awkward or difficult at first. We'll share some tips later in the episode to make it easier for you. Stick with us. Now that we've talked about why thinking in English is so important, let's address the elephant in the room, the challenges. Why do you think it's so hard for people to start thinking in English? Well, I think one of the biggest reasons is simply habit. Most people are used to thinking in their native language because that's what they've done their entire lives. Switching to English can feel unnatural at first, almost like trying to write with your non-dominant hand. And another challenge I've noticed is a lack of vocabulary. If someone doesn't know enough English words, they might feel stuck when trying to form thoughts in English. It can be so frustrating when you can't find the words you need. And let's not forget about confidence. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes, even in their own minds. They worry that their sentences might not be grammatically correct, so they avoid thinking in English altogether. That's so true. That fear of mistakes can really hold people back. I think another issue is translating. many learners are stuck in the habit of translating from their native language to English. It's hard to break out of that cycle because it's how they've been taught to learn a new language. And speaking of cycles, another challenge is consistency. Even if someone starts thinking in English, they might not stick with it because it feels tiring or awkward at first. It's so easy to slip back into old habits when things get tough. And let's not ignore the environment. If someone is surrounded by their native language all the time and doesn't have much exposure to English, it's even harder to practice thinking in English. Sometimes, learners try too hard to make their thoughts perfect in English, and that just adds pressure. It's totally okay to start with simple sentences and build from there. The secret, really, is to embrace the process and not aim for perfection right away. Overcoming these challenges might take time, but it's absolutely worth the effort. And remember, these are common struggles. You're not alone. And don't worry, listeners, we've got some practical tips coming up next to help you overcome these challenges and start thinking in English more easily. Stay tuned. It's time for the exciting part, how you can actually start thinking in English. Let's dive into some practical tips that our listeners can use right away. Let's start with a really simple one, labeling. Look around you and start labeling objects in English. For example, if you see a chair, think, "This is a chair." If you see a book, think, "This is a book." It's an easy way to get your brain used to associating objects with English words.
And to take it a step further, try describing those objects. For instance, instead of just thinking, "This is a chair," you could think, "This is a brown wooden chair. It looks comfortable." Adding more detail helps you practice forming longer sentences in your mind.
Yes, another effective method is self-talk. Talk to yourself in English about what you're doing or planning. For example, if you're cooking, think, "I'm chopping vegetables. Next, I will boil some water." It might feel funny at first, but it's a fantastic way to practice. Self-talk is one of my favorite techniques. And here's another tip. Narrate your day. As you go through your day, think about your activities in English. For example, I'm going to the store. I need to buy some milk and bread. This helps you stay in English mode throughout the day. And if you're not sure how to describe something, make it a learning opportunity. Use a dictionary or translator app to look up the words you need. Over time, you'll build a stronger vocabulary, and it will get easier. Another tip is to think in questions and answers. For example, if you're walking to work, ask yourself, "What do I see around me?" Then, answer in English, "I see cars, trees, and people walking." It's like having a mini conversation with yourself. Another technique I love is setting small challenges for yourself. For example, pick a specific time of day, like breakfast or your commute, and commit to only thinking in English during that time. Gradually, you can increase the duration as you get more comfortable. And let's not forget about using technology. Apps like language learning tools or even the Notes app on your phone can help you practice. Write down your thoughts in English, or try voice-to-text features to see how well your sentences come out. And here's another fun one. Dream in English. Okay, I know you can't force yourself to dream in a specific language, but before you go to sleep, think about something in English. Maybe plan your next day or imagine a conversation. Over time, you might just start dreaming in English too. Another practical tip is to surround yourself with English as much as possible. Listen to English podcasts, watch movies, or read books. The more input you get in English, the easier it will be to think in English. And don't forget to be patient with yourself. Thinking in English is a habit, and like any habit, it takes time to develop. Start small, stay consistent, and celebrate your progress along the way. The key is to keep practicing and not give up, even if it feels hard at first. Thinking in English is like exercising a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger it gets. Up next, we'll do a quick role play to show you how to practice some of these tips in real life. Stay with us. All right, Let's jump into a quick role play to help you understand how to think in English. Let's imagine we're planning a day out. I'll start by asking you a question, and you'll respond in English while thinking about your plans. Then we'll switch roles. Okay? What are your plans for tomorrow? Tomorrow I'll wake up at 7 a.m., I'll make some coffee and have breakfast. After that, I plan to go to the gym for an hour. In the afternoon, I'll work on my project, and in the evening, I might watch a movie or read a book. That sounds like a productive day. What kind of movie are you planning to watch? I think I'll watch a comedy movie. I need something light and funny after a busy day. Great choice. All right, now let's switch roles. You ask me about my plans.
All right, listeners, that's a simple role play you can practice. Think about your own day or plans and try to describe them in English, even if you're just talking to yourself. This is a fantastic way to start thinking in English.
You can also mix it up by imagining conversations, like asking yourself, "What will I do today?" Or, "What's my favorite food?" Then answer in English. The key is to make it a habit. Practice this for just a few minutes a day, and you'll see a huge improvement in how naturally you think and speak in English. And don't forget to have fun with it. Coming up next, we'll wrap up with some final thoughts and takeaways from today's episode. Stay tuned.
Today's episode was packed with tips and strategies. But before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you, our listeners. Why is listener engagement so important? It's because learning English is a two-way street. Sharing your thoughts, questions, and experiences helps create a community where everyone can grow and learn together. Exactly. So here is your challenge for today. Think about one of the tips we shared, like self-talk or describing your day in English. Try it out and let us know how it went in the comments section.
Yes, and don't worry if it feels awkward at first. Remember, practice makes progress. You can also share any challenges you're facing when trying to think in English, and we'll do our best to help you in future episodes. And if you enjoyed today's podcast, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's also learning English. Your support truly means the world to us and helps us create more content like this. And if you want more practice, check out our other episodes or playlists for beginner English learners. There's plenty of material to keep you motivated and learning. Thanks for joining us today. Remember, the journey to thinking in English starts with small, consistent steps. Keep practicing, stay patient, and most importantly, have fun. Until next time, keep speaking, keep thinking, and keep learning. You've got this. Final learn vocabulary in 3 minutes. 1. Core vocabulary. Fluently. To speak or write a language easily, smoothly, and accurately. Confidently. In a way that shows you are sure about your own abilities or opinions. Transform. To change something completely, usually in a good way. Translate. To change words from one language into another. Vocabulary. All the words that a person knows or uses in a particular language. Accuracy. The state of being correct or exact without any mistakes. Consistency. The quality of always doing something regularly or in the same way.
2. Benefits and challenges. Game changer. Noun. Something, like an idea or event, that completely changes the way a situation develops. Mental fatigue. Noun. A feeling of being extremely tired in your mind. Exhausting. Adjective. Making you feel extremely tired. Awkward. Adjective. Feeling strange, uncomfortable, or embarrassing. Frustrating. Adjective. Making you feel annoyed or upset because you cannot do something you are trying to do. Struggles. Noun. Difficulties or great efforts. Exposure to English. Noun. The condition of experiencing something, Being in a situation where you can learn or experience something like hearing or reading English regularly.
3. Techniques and actions. Labeling verb. The action of naming objects around you in a specific language. Self-talk, noun. The act of talking to yourself, either silently in your mind or aloud. Narrate your day verb. To describe the events of your day as they are happening, like telling a story. Immerse verb. To involve yourself completely in an activity or environment. Here, to surround yourself with English. Embrace the process verb. To accept and welcome a process, including its challenges, with enthusiasm. Commit to verb. To promise to do something or to give your time and energy to it.
IV. Useful phrases and idioms. Unlocked the secrets. To discover the hidden or important methods for doing something successfully. Lost in translation. When the original meaning of something is lost or changed when it is translated into another language. Address the elephant in the room. To talk about an obvious, important problem that people have been avoiding. Hold someone back. To prevent someone from making progress. Slip back into old habits. To return to a previous, often bad habit after you have stopped it for a while. You've got this. A phrase used to encourage someone, meaning you can do it or I believe in you.